Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is GGF bringing you episode 1 of what's going to be a new Let's Play. Alright, so today we're looking at a game. We're going to do the character creation. It's a game that really needs no introduction. It's pretty well known. I'm very interested in giving it a solid run here and kind of going all in on it. But we'll see what happens. God willing, we'll be able to do that. But this is an RPG that's actually an MMORPG, but don't turn off the video yet. We will be playing it mostly solo and going that route, but it's very cool. It's from a very popular series the world over. So let's just get into it. I did play this a little tiny bit back in the day, like literally over 10 years ago. But this is pretty much going to be new for me. So I hope you guys will join me on this journey. Thanks for tuning in. Let's check it out. This is episode 1 of Let's Play Dungeons and Dragons Online, Sunn. Let's go, Sunn. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited to be playing this. Just a fantastic game, I'm sure. I'm sure it's been enhanced a lot since I played. And I only played for a very short time. I never really got into it. I don't have any of the expansions or anything yet. If this goes well, I will buy some to make like even more interesting characters, because if we're going to be looking at character creation, I don't know if we'll get past that, but for example, like if we want to be a melee class, when we go to class, some stuff is locked, like Dragon Lord, fighters who commune with a draconic soul to gain tactical advantages, powerful auras, and elemental power on the battlefield. They excel at martial combat and using tactical feats for crowd control. So stuff like that, certain things are locked out to us. Dragon Disciple Monk, and so on. So, anyway, we are going to look at the melee characters who engage in up-close hand-to-hand combat. Choose this style if you want to attack with weapons instead of magic. So that's the style you can pick, and then we go to class, and there's fighter. Regular fighter can use a large variety of weapons, all types of shields, and the heaviest armor. They can also train in many more combat abilities than other melee classes, and solo ability is good. More info. They often focus their training on a specific set of gear and become masters of their own custom fighting styles. A fighter can succeed in battle in many different ways. Fighters get more feats than any other class, and as a result, they have a lot of attack options in battle. They can knock an enemy off his feet or damage multiple enemies at once with a great cleave. Barbarian. I don't think I'm going to go through all the classes. We're just going to pick what we want to do. And why does he have 2 different shoes on? That's interesting. Was that supposed to be like that? I guess so. Then there's paladins. Supremely resilient and have good balance of offense and defense. They protect and support allies better than the other melee classes. Provide some healing and wield the power of good as a mighty weapon. Very good solo ability. Check their stats as well. We will be dishing out the stat points, which is pretty awesome. And this is Dungeons and Dragons 3.5 edition. It's not 5th edition, but Smite Evil Lay on Hand. So I'm going to actually skip. We'll look at the spell classes really quick. Sorcerer, you can unlock Wild Mage. Cleric, Dark Apostate. Wizard, just a regular wizard. Favorite Soul. Druid or Blightcaster. Pretty interesting. Warlock or Acolyte of the Skin. Have made a pact with a powerful fiend and have embarked upon the nefarious process of transformation into a demon. Dang. Alright, but let's go back. And then there's Specialist. Ranger and Dark Hunter. Rogue, who can open locks and stuff. Bard. And there's Storm Singer. Unlocked, you can also be an Artificer with like a mechanical dog type companion, it looks like. Or an Alchemist. Solo ability, very good. So, what are we going to be? We are going to be, and there's also Iconic. I love the Iconic classes. Leap into action with an iconic hero. These seasoned adventurers are versed in danger and look the part. Choose this style to begin as a high-level character with custom gear, abilities, and a tale to tell. So we definitely don't want to do that, but there's a lot of cool options here that I wish were available in the base game. Like, just some really cool stuff. SMR Scourge, Tabaxi Trailblazer, Bladeforge Paladin. Yeah, some really cool stuff, but I don't want to start at a high level with custom gear and all that. So we're going to be a specialist, and we're going to be a rogue. Rogues use stealth and a variety of masterful techniques to disarm traps, unlock doors, and take down enemies with devastating sneak attacks. It's challenging to solo as the rogue. Stealthy and sly, rogues pride themselves on their skill. They are among the best at finding secret doors and traps, and are the only class that can disarm traps. They can also pick locks to gain access to special areas and treasure chests, which is what I'm interested in. Rogues also have a powerful ability called the Sneak Attack. With proper skill and strategy, they can use this to devastating effect. Rogues make great scouts and are easily able to blend in with the shadows and go undetected. Combining stealth with sneak attacking can be a powerful combination. So we see what their stats look like. Dexterity is the most important stat for rogues. High dexterity boosts a rogue's defense and reflexes and improves key rogue skills like sneaking and trap disarming. Strength is important for rogues who want to increase attack power, and intelligence is important for rogues who want to maximize their skills. Notable abilities: disable device, disarm traps, open lock. This ability allows rogues to attempt to open locked doors, chests, and other objects. It is challenging solo ability. The ability to go through low and mid-level quests by yourself. There are 5 levels of solo ability: excellent, very good, good, challenging, and experts only. So it's not experts only, but it is challenging. But I think this is what we're going to go with, so we can pick some locks and stuff like that. Does the Ranger have open locks, though? 2-weapon fighting, favorite enemy. High dexterity. I don't know. I guess they could. 1 second, guys. If we pick a Ranger and go through, like, just pick a template Arcane Archer, and oh, you can be a Tabaxi, but you have to unlock it. Interesting. Maybe I should wait until I can afford some of these unlocks. Eladrin are the elves of the Feywild and carry a strong association to seasonal magic. They are charismatic and adept at both martial and magical combat. Let's just say we pick that. Oh no, wait, we have to customize somewhere. Customize. No. Here we go. So, what did I want to do? Say we just... I'm not making a character. I just want to get to here, open locks. Okay, so open locks is not even here. They can't even get it. Repair. Allows you to use a repair kit to restore disabled Warforged characters to 1 hit point. So there's not even an ability to open locks as a Ranger. That's what I wanted to see. So let's head back. We're not going to be a gnome, probably, but we will be a rogue. And we'll hit next. So now we have path. Follow a proven path for a character who will be created and progress according to that path's heroic mold. No, we definitely want to customize. There's Master Mechanic, though, the Dark Blade, and Thief Acrobat, all challenging. We'll customize, build your character from scratch, and make your own choice for all stats and abilities. Only recommended for advanced players. When customizing a character, you have complete freedom to choose all stats, skills, feats, and spells for your character and can design what you consider to be the perfect avatar. With this freedom, however, comes a kind of responsibility. Unless you have good knowledge of the character creation process, you may end up with a weakened character who could have a tough time succeeding. Customization is only recommended for fairly advanced players who have already played for a while. Obviously, you need to make sure that your character is not too weak in the stats that are most important for his or her class. Alright, let's go, Sunnn. So I actually wanted to be a Tabaxi, but there's also Shifter, Warforged, Eladrin, Dampier, Aasimar. Wow, we could be a Dragonborn, though. They can use a breath weapon. Drow elves are similar to other elves, but on average have greater intelligence and charisma. They also have an innate spell resist that makes them harder to hit by many enemy spells. A spell resistance that shields them from many enemy spells. Bonus to will saves against magic. Weaknesses, slightly lower hit points due to lower constitution. Drow start with higher dexterity, intelligence, and charisma, and lower constitution. Maybe we'll be a Drow. Drow are the dark cousins of the elves, and like their cousins, they have a long and storied history. While many live underground in the wilds away from civilization and pursue their own agendas, some Drow have emerged to join the society of adventurers and mingle with the other races. So let's check out what they come with. Or actually what our class comes with, basically. They do get the racial spell resist, though. Proficiency with rapier, short sword, shuriken, immune to sleep, enchantment save bonus, elven keen senses, racial, we'll go over this again later, racial spell resist, shuriken expertise, an elf. I think we might be a Drow. Let's check out I usually play a half elf. They have half elf and mixed heritage. Versatility, increased capacity to use intimidate, bluff, and diplomacy skills. So that's the elven social graces, half elven social graces. So that's pretty interesting, but let's see. Tabaxi would be cool. We could be a tiefling, have infernal ancestry that shows itself in their barbed tails and twisted horns. They are naturally charismatic and resistant to fire. Could always help. Let's see what it'd be like if we make a Drow character. Let's see. So they start with Dex, Intelligence, and Charisma. Very nice, actually. Dexterity provides extra protection for the lightly armored rogue. Dexterity, Intelligence. Not sure why Wisdom is important for many of the rogue skills. Obviously, a high Intelligence score gives the rogue extra skill points, which can be used to expand a repertoire. Strength is important in combat, as it increases both the likelihood that your character will score a hit and the amount of damage the hit is worth. I don't think weapon finesse is in the game, so rogues will have to use strength for their attack rolls. Constitution affects the number of hit points. So let's see. Let's see here. That'll give me 7 hit points. Something like that would be interesting. 2-point cost there. Constitution -2. We'd only have 6 hit points. Maybe take Wisdom down to make Strength higher. Wisdom affects will save, spell casting ability for clerics, druids, paladins, and rangers, and key regen for monks. I usually go with charisma, even though it's generally not all that useful. But it measures your force of personality and magnetism. This stat affects spell access, spell points, and spell power for sorcerers and bards, spell access and spell points for favored souls, and turning ability for clerics and paladins. I don't know if there's any other use for it. So maybe we're being foolish by putting a lot of points into it when we could even do like something like that even. It's more basic build, but reflex saves 5, fortitude -1, will 0. Our saves are not very good. Let's see what it would look like though. There's open lock, repair. We have 44 points to play with. That's very nice. And there is use magic device. So let's see here. Do we want to be a drow? They definitely get good bonuses, but if we go half elf, as you can see, the stats are just all basic. I don't even know if we can make a similar build with the half elf. No, see, they don't get the bonuses. And really, they're still terrible in quite a bit of categories here. But, of course, they get the social graces, which I would probably want to have a decent charisma for. Let's see, maybe 14. Maybe something like that. Let's check this out. Total mod not available. So like on Intimidate, they start with 2. Height is 3. Haggle 2. I think that's based on charisma. Yep. Key ability charisma. Allows you to negotiate better prices with vendors when both buying and selling. While shop starting prices vary, you get approximately a 0.5% price change in your favor per each point of haggle you have. Diplomacy, they start good with, and bluff. Balance, move silently. So they make a good rogue. Their spot is not so good. Ability is wisdom. Allows you to sense the presence of nearby hidden doors, traps, and objects, and to spot enemies that are trying to hide. This skill is passive, always on. Note that traps with a spot difficulty check, DC above 20, can only be spotted by rogues. Tumble, use magic device. So the only ones that cost double points to put into are concentration, which is useless for us, heal, perform, and spellcraft. I guess you can perform. Allows you to use and improve your musical ability. All right. To inspire and fascinate others. Bard songs require you to have a certain number of ranks in the skill. Also improves sonic-based spell damage. Each point of perform grants 1 point of sonic spell power. That's pretty cool. But yeah, we'd have much lower stats, but yeah, if we can't spot the traps, it's going to be hard to place them, or to disarm them, I should say. Use magic device is good. Tumble is good. And let's go ahead and check. I'm just going to spend this episode mostly playing around in here. Let's check Drow again. So Drow, we can get to like 16. Yeah, I mean, much higher stats. This stuff pretty much stays the same, but +3 modifier to strength, dexterity, and intelligence. Starts with 44 points. And it looks like bluff starts at 2, intimidate 2. Oh, it's not adding the racial bonuses yet. Diplomacy, bluff, and intimidate. They'll be better at the end. Yet the rogue lives or dies by skill choices. They represent much of their effectiveness. Most rogues want to scout and sneak, making hide and move silently a must. Spot, search, and disable device are all essential to be able to find and disarm traps. A role the rogue is expected to play in most parties. Open lock is important for similar reasons. Right, we pretty much know about the skills. But I think I'm going to go half elf actually, because the social graces are pretty nice. Let's see if we can actually look at them before we put points in. Oh, we can't hover over these for some reason. I guess we'll see these at the end when they're added in. Social graces, mixed heritage, keen senses, immune to sleep, elf and human. But anyway, half-elves have a good blend of human versatility and elven sensibility. They can do well in any class and are also naturals at social interaction and can use social skills more often than the other races. Half-elves are of mixed human and elven ancestry and possess many of the good aspects of both races. Growing up in between the human and elf cultures, half-elves usually develop their naturally good social skills to smooth their way through the world. This can be of aid in battle as well as out. They are also a versatile race and can specialize in any number of directions. Strengths are versatility, increased capacity to use intimidate, bluff, and diplomacy skills. No weaknesses, really. So yeah, I think we're going to be a half-elf. And now this is where it's going to get interesting. Can't take these lower than 8, by the way. It's not letting us. I think we'll go 16, 14. Oh, that's not very good. Let's see here. Probably need more dexterity. And I want to get haggle for charisma. They're not the greatest stats ever. But if we get a point upon leveling her up or something, we can take one of these to +3. And I might sacrifice a point of intelligence for 2 points of con. Taking us to 8 hit points. 0 fortitude, 4 reflex, -1 will, which is the wisdom save. Charisma is decent. Strength and dex are decent. Intelligence. Let's see how many points we get to play with here. 40. So let's do a mock-up here. Why is that? Oh, we're not getting the extra modifier +2. It's based on charisma, but at the end, again, it'll apply the social graces. So let's do this like a mock thing. Let's put 4 in bluff, 4 in diplomacy, 4 in disable device, 4 in haggle, 4 in intimidate, 4 in open lock, search. Intelligence, when activated, allows you to attempt to find the exact location of hidden doors, traps, and other objects. Some traps are so well hidden they can only be found by rogues. Traps with the stealth difficulty check DC above 20. Spot 4, search 4. Now we're down to 8 points. Use magic device. Wow, it actually works out quite well. Listen. Wisdom allows you to hear enemies that are trying to move silently, as well as subtle noises which others may not hear. We can sacrifice a bit of... What about jump? Allows you to jump higher. To jump, press the space bar. That's interesting. Swim. Allows you to swim faster and hold your breath for a longer period of time when underwater. Move silently. Only use when sneaking. Of course, hide. Allows you to sneak past monsters, avoiding their sight. Only useful when sneaking. But balance allows you to recover your balance and stand back up when knocked down. Maybe 2 points of that and like 2 points of... or a point of hide and a point of move silently. So if we go to next, now we get a feat and a racial bonus feat, and here's where we can see Dismiss Charm. Activate this short-ranged ability when targeting a charmed, commanded, controlled, or dominated enemy that is under your control to dispel the controlling effect. Defensive Fighting. Cooldown 6 seconds. It's the toggled ability. Stays on for good. Defensive Combat Stance. While using Defensive Fighting mode, you gain a 5% bonus to AC and a minus 5% penalty to hit. Casting a spell ends this mode. Cannot be used while raged. Attack. Basic attack, when activated, will continue attacking until your target is defeated. Elf. You're considered an elf. You are treated as such by magical abilities and effects and are able to use appropriate equipment. Half-elf and keen senses. Half-elves have gained some of the keen senses of the elves and gain a +1 racial bonus to listen, search, and spot. Very nice. Mixed heritage. Treated as both an elf and a human by magical items and effects. If would be beneficial, negative effects treat half-elves as if they were elves. Half-elf and bluff. Allows you to attempt to make monsters vulnerable to a sneak attack. Cooldown 1 minute. Half-elf and diplomacy. Encourage monsters to find targets other than yourself. Intimidate allows you to attempt to draw the attention of monsters. You get a bonus when intimidating creatures smaller than you, and a penalty when intimidating creatures that are larger than you. Heroic durability, target self. Human, you're considered human. You're treated as such by magical abilities and effects and are able to use appropriate equipment. Immune to sleep, naturally immune to magical sleep effects. Light armor proficiency. You're proficient with light armor and do not suffer armor penalties to your attack rolls when wearing light armor. You also gain your base attack bonus and physical resistance when wearing light armor. Wearing armor can cause arcane spells to fail to cast, known as arcane spell failure. In general, the heavier the armor, the greater the chance of failure. And we're proficient with rapiers, short sword, short bow, club, dagger, dart, heavy crossbow, heavy mace, light crossbow, light mace, morning star, quarterstaff, sickle, throwing daggers, unarmed. We can sneak, which, using your hide and move silently skills to adopt a sneaking stance, you avoid detection. Enemies with spot and listen below your hide and move silently skills will not notice you. The longer you stay near an enemy, the larger their bonus to spot you. Using certain objects such as doors or levers or being hit will knock you out of the stance. Cannot be used when enraged. Sneak attack allows you to deal additional damage when a monster is unaware of your presence or targeting another character. Sunder. Tactical melee attack. Using this attack, you may reduce the target's armor class by 10% and fortification by 25%. For 6 seconds, some creatures may be immune to the Sunder effect. A successful Fortitude save negates the effect. DC plus our Strength mod plus Sunder bonuses. Trap finding. Without this feat, difficult traps cannot be found even with expert skills. And trip. Tactical melee ability. Using this attack, you may trip the target, rendering it prone. Some creatures may be immune to this effect. A successful balance check negates the effect. DC 10 plus strength mod. And then we get to pick an available feat and a racial feat. So what do we want to do? Two-weapon fighting is interesting. Two-handed fighting. Plus 60% strike-through chance and plus 2 combat style bonus to melee power. Single-weapon fighting. You gain a 10% combat style bonus to attack speed and plus 2 combat style bonus to melee power. Improves the hit point bonus of heroic durability, which I don't understand what that is. It just says target self. But, we'll get the bonus to diplomatic. Least Dragon Mark of Storm. The bloodline of House Lyrander bestows on you a plus 2 bonus to your balance skill. Activate the ability to cast Gust of Wind 3 times per rest. Gust of Wind creates a severe blast of wind that slows enemy movement and disperses clouds. Maybe two-weapon fighting, combat style. Reduces the penalty for fighting with 2 weapons and increases the chance to produce offhand attacks when fighting with 2 weapons or hand wraps by 20% to 40%. Also improves the hit point bonus of heroic durability. I guess that can only be a good thing. Combat expertise, toggled ability, defensive combat stance, -5 to your attack rolls that gain 10% feat bonus to armor class. Improved feint, sap, stunning blow. Martial proficiency, I think, would just give us oh wait, we can't just pick martial weapon proficiency. We would have to actually pick a martial weapon to be proficient with. Medium armor proficiency is a thought. And here's some racial feats. Half-elf, dilettante. Dilettante. We could dual class too. We could make this character also a sorcerer type or something. There's range combat feats, skill focus feats. Luck of heroes. You survive when no one expects you to come through. You receive a +1 to all saves. Self-sufficient. You can take care of yourself and frequently others too. You receive a +2 on heal and repair. You can do a skill focus on an individual skill. Stealthy, snake blood. The taint of the serpent-like Yuan Ti runs in your veins. You receive a +1 to reflex saves and +2 bonus to saves against poison. Magical training increases your max spell points by 80, increases your spell critical chance by 5%, and grants echoes of power if you drop below 12 spell points. Granted automatically by alchemist, artificer, cleric, druid, favored soul, sorcerer, warlord, or wizard level 1. So what do we want to do? I think medium armor proficiency would be good, because I like a more medium armor rogue, but it can cause arcane spells to fail. In general, the heavier the armor, the greater the chance of failure. You're proficient with medium armor and do not suffer armor penalties to your attack rolls when wearing medium armor. You also gain 1.5 times your base attack bonus and physical resistance when wearing medium armor. Let's see. Let's check out these dilettante. What if we go fighter? You've trained with the best and your martial skills have improved. You gain proficiency with all martial melee weapons. And for item use purposes, you count as a level 1 fighter in addition to any other classes you possess. This feat is not recommended for characters with the actual fighter levels. So we can get like a level 1 of any of these. Level 1 wizard. You study You've studied ancient tomes alongside powerful wizards. You're able to use wands and scrolls as if you were a level 1 wizard. And for item use purposes, you count as a level 1 wizard. But if we actually go wizard, this is not recommended. You deal plus 1d6 sneak attack damage. But this does not stack with the rogue sneak attack. Not recommended for actual rogues. You've hunted with some of the greatest rangers of Corvair. You gain proficiency with all martial ranged weapons and plus 1 damage with longbows and shortbows. Able to use wands and scrolls if you're a level 1 ranger. But that's not quite what we're going for. I might go with fighter, just to get proficiency with all martial melee weapons. That would be cool. Artificer. You've watched the Artificer. I don't know if we can get that because we haven't unlocked. Maybe we can. You've watched the Artificers of House Cannith work their trade. You gain proficiency with all crossbows and Artificer knowledge. Scrolls. You gain a +2 to use magic device checks when using scrolls. And their caster level is increased by 1. Wow. This caster level increase is capped by your intelligence modifier. You're able to use wands and scrolls as if you were a level 1 artificer. Interesting. And we're not showing unavailable. There's a whole bunch more. So if we stick with this and not go drow, I think I would like to do medium armor proficiency and half-elf dilettante fighter. And as we level up, we may dual class with like sorcerer or wizard or something. Alright, so let's go next. This is our character, not all that great. Martial weapon proficiency with... Wait, why isn't it? Half-elf souls. Social graces. Medium armor, light armor, martial weapon proficiency. Why aren't the dilettante weapons there, I wonder? Racial feats. Gain proficiency with all martial melee weapons. But it's not showing up under martial weapon proficiency. I'm a little worried about that. Our skills look pretty good. Can't listen, but a little bit of jump, a little bit of move silently and hide, decent balance, good magic device, a little bit of spot, search, open lock, intimidate, haggle. We might want to redo this a little bit. The social skills are probably not, I don't know if they're used outside of combat. But if we look at this again, half-elf bluff will attempt to make monsters vulnerable to a sneak attack. Half-elf diplomacy, encourage monsters to find targets other than yourself. I guess that could be useful. I think we can get AI party members, but I'm not 100% sure. I think that's in the game. And then half-elf intimidate allows you to draw the attention of monsters. You get a bonus when intimidating creatures smaller than you, and penalty when intimidating creatures larger than you. Immune to sleep. So let's actually go back and play with these a little bit. I don't think I want as much intimidate. These are maxed out at 4. Diplomacy, bluff, disable device, haggle. What about maybe more move silently? And maybe more, spots maxed out. It's a wisdom check, right? Swim, use magic device is maxed out. What about hide? A little bit more hide, a little bit more move silently, even in medium armor, I guess. And we go fighter again and medium armor proficiency. So I'm not sure why it's not showing other martial weapons. Bluff, diplomacy, disable device. Haggle is 5, open lock 6, search 6, spot 3. Use magic device 5, 4 balance and hide, 3 intimidate, 4 move silently. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that might be what we go with. Charisma skills. Yeah, we only have a +1 from them. So they're only getting a +1. But intelligence, we're getting +2. Strength and dex +2. I'm not sure I want to stick with those stats, though. Maybe get less point of strength. Yeah, let's go with that instead, I think. Can get +2 charisma. No, let's just keep that as it is. And we did our points here. Let's get rid of balance and get another point of hide. And maybe another less point of intimidate and another point of move silently. I think that's good. And I think we're good to go. We'll get the half-elf dilettante fighter, medium armor, and here we go. So now we have to hit next, and we adjust the look of the character. That looks pretty good. Let's get different hairstyle, though. Maybe something like that. Eyes. Go with a nice little baby blue. That nose there. Ears. There's 4 types. Go with those. Lips. Go with those there. Facial details. Little scar under the eye. Maybe. Name, we'll go with Elzarian. Surname, Destari. alignment. Chaotic good. I think this is our character, guys. Let's take a look at him. Looks good. Bong bong. Let's create. There we go. We're in rags to start, but that is our first character that we made. So I want to thank you guys for joining me. Hope you enjoyed and got something from that character creation episode. If you did, please like this video, subscribe if you're new, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And I hope to see you guys in the next one where we actually jump into the content. So, hope to see you guys then. Also guys, if you want to be a huge help to the channel, you can become a member. Info and links are in the description for that. Because of my members, I'm able to buy like an extra indie game each month, or even maybe, well, we already created our character, so unlocking like classes or anything wouldn't help us much now, but I am very grateful for my members. I'm able to get like an extra indie game, so that's cool. Very grateful for that, and for the rest of you guys watching as well. So hope to see you next time. We're going to exit out here and we'll jump back in with more in the future. So hope to see you then. Until then, be well, live well, stay well. Much love, peace, and joy. Catch you next time. Ciao for now.